Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, hello again. So this is my channel. I love to do DIYs on a budget, Dollar Tree DIYs, thrift flips, Farmhouse and Rustic, REITs, and seasonal decor. So if you like what you see here, you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button. Also leave me a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. And also give me a thumbs up. That helps my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and Facebook. And now on Facebook and here on YouTube, I do a live every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be showing you crafts that I'm going to be making for my new shop. And I'm also going to show you Dollar Tree stuff and all that other kind of stuff too. So come on over and check it out. So today is all about what would you make. It's Connie's Woodshop DIY and Rustic and Lace DIY. And the guest host is Crafted by Corey. So there will be a playlist and their links will be down below. More about that in a minute, but first, DIY number one. So the first DIY, I'm going to take one of these wooden fences from the Dollar Tree, also some white chalk paint, and some of that really light, it's called Barely Pink paint, and this crushed stone paint. And I'm also going to be using some ribbon and some strips of fabric. I'm going to be using a little bit of a jute rope and a tag, a button, this butterfly that's wood cut out, and these dowels that you can also get at the Dollar Tree, that fence, and then this board that I got from the Dollar Tree as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the board with this color. It's called Crushed Stone. It's folk art paint. I got it at Michael's. Next, I'm going to come in with my wax tea light candle, and I'm going to wax the whole board. What this is going to do is going to help us get that chippy, rustic vintage look. Next, I'm going to be going in with the white chalk paint next. And I use Dollar Tree sponge to paint on my stuff. It's just a lot easier, leaves a lot less brush strokes, and it just looks much nicer and dries quicker. Next, I'm going in with that crushed stone again, and I'm going to do the fence in that color as well. And then I'm going to come in with the dowels, and I'm going to paint those with the crushed stone as well. And next, I'm going to figure out where I need to cut this dowel to make the center of my little butterfly. And then I'm going to use some rusty wire, and I'm going to make the little antennas for the butterfly. You can use any kind of wire you have. I just happen to have the rusty wire, and that's what I use. I get it on Amazon, and I do have a link to my Amazon shop down below in my description box. Then I'm going to paint the butterfly with that color Barely Pink. I love this color. And then I'm going to glue that middle piece. First, I'm going to glue down the antennas. And then we're going to glue that middle piece that I cut out in the dowel in the center of the butterfly. And then I ended up painting the little dowel with the crushed stone. I wanted it to be a different color for the center of that butterfly. Next, I'm going to come in with my little scraper, and I'm going to start scraping my board. And that's how you get the chippy look. That's why we put the wax down. Now, for some reason, this white paint did not want to cooperate, and it wasn't scraping that well, but I did get it off. Next, I'm going to come in with my dark antiquing wax. This wax, as I also get on Amazon, and I'm using a little stencil brush, and I'm going around the edges, just giving it that worn, old look to it. And you just put a little on and you rub with your finger. It's really an amazing thing. I love this stuff. And it's made by Kills. So that is in my Amazon shop as well. But you can also get it at your local home. I think Lowe's carries it. Not the Kills brand, but the Bear brand. And then I'm going to go along the butterfly as well, just a little bit. Just so the butterfly like kind of sticks out from the fence a little bit more. And it also gives it just another dimension. I just absolutely love this stuff. It gives it an old look, and I like that. If you don't like this look, you could skip this part altogether. And then once I get that all around the little butterfly, I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to rough up the edges. And I have this little tool that I've had for a long time, but you can use scissors to do this. And then I'm also going to use the dark wax to go around the edges of the tag as well. I crumple up my tag. I do everything with it. These tags I get from Hobby Lobby. They're very durable and they don't rip or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. And then I went over, a little bit more over the edges with the wax. Next, I'm going to take this little piece of cloth that I cut out and I'm going to stamp the word Bloom on the cloth. And I have these little cursive words that I spelled out blue. And then I glued that on top. Next, I'm going to show you how I make my raggy bows. Using a bow dabber, I put a piece of jute twine down the center. And then I'm just going to take ripped fabric that I ripped in strips. Any fabric you can use. I used fabric from Hobby Lobby and also from the Dollar Tree. And I just keep looping it back and forth to make a bow. And I love doing this kind of a bow. I think it's so pretty and it's very easy to do. Then I went in with a light pink, like that pale, barely pink color. It went perfectly with what my butterfly is. And then I just keep going back and forth. You just use any colors that, match whatever you're making. And you can make them as big or as small as you want. This one I'm using a lot of fabric because I'm going to make a flower with it. So I'm going to keep looping back and forth with all the different strips of fabric. And I'm just going to keep going. I think I did 2 strips of each fabric that I'm using to make my flower. It's pretty full because I want my flower to look really full and nice. And this was so much fun to make. I really love the fabric strips of ribbon flowers. They're really pretty. And you could pretty much keep this decor up all through summer too if you wanted to. And I just keep going back and forth. And I kept this in for you guys because I get a lot of questions about showing the whole thing so people could see how I make them. So then once I get it where I want it, I'm going to pull the twine up in the center and then I'm going to tie it really tight. And then I'm going to kind of push everything down and then I put it around to the back and I tie it in a double knot. Next, I'm going to start fluffing up my, well, this wouldn't be a bow. It's actually going to be a flower, but I'm just fluffing all the loops up and pulling all the little strips on the ends over. I want it to look like a flower and I want it to look really full. Then I just cut all the extra pieces that were a little long. You just want to cut it to fit. And you make it look like a really pretty fabric flower. Super, super fun and easy to do. Next, I'm going to take these tumble towering blocks that I also painted in that crushed stone color, and I'm going to stick them on the back of my fence. And then I had this stuff is really messy, guys. You can use Spanish moss. That would be my suggestion, but I used this anyways. They're kind of like little branches, and they're really brittle, and they kept breaking, and it was just awful, but I ended up using it because I had it. So I'm just gluing it down to the bottom part of the board because then we're going to put the fence on top of that. So I'm kind of like figuring out, I didn't want to have the stuff where I was gluing the fence because I want to make sure the fence sticks to the board, not the whatever you want to call this stuff. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm kind of putting it on the sides. And then I'm going to leave a spot where I would be putting the Jenga blocks on the, you could glue your Jenga blocks down to the board, which was probably easier for me to do, but I didn't do that. I did it the hard way. And then I'm going to also use some super wood glue because I want to make sure this thing sticks to the board without coming off. And I also used hot glue. And then I glued it down, made sure I pressed really good and it was on there. Then I took some more of the stuff and I just stuck it in between the grooves of the fence. I wanted it to be sticking out a little bit, like it was coming out of the fence. So that's what I did there. I just stuck little pieces there. Then I went around and trimmed everything because it was kind of really messy looking. So I just made sure it looked, a little bit more a little bit better. And then I'm going to glue down my little dowel. This is going to be the stem of our flower. And I glued that down in the center under the fence as well, because you want to see it like the flowers coming out from behind the fence. And then I'm going to glue my flower in the center and stick that down up top. Then I'm going to I took a jute twine and I just wrapped it in my hands, and I tied it in the middle, and then I made this cute little bow with it. And I stuck that in the center, then my little tag on top of that. And then I have these wooden buttons, and I stuck one of those in the center as well, where the tag is. So pretty, guys. I love it. And then I'm going to take my butterfly, and I'm going to stick that down on my fence. I love the way this turned out, and I love these colors for spring. And there it is, you guys. Now I'm going to take the jute rope from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make my little leaves on the stem there. So I just cut a piece off, and I'm just going to glue it down, and then I'm just going to come around with the glue and go around and make a leaf pattern with it. And I love this because it's so rustic, but still so pretty. And then I just go around on the other side and do the same thing. I made one leaf a little bit bigger than the other. And there you go. There's your leaves. And then I'm going to take my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide, my little sponge brush, and I'm going to go around the edges really good and the sides. I wanted to give it more of that vintage look, so in that worn look, and that's what I did. And if you don't like that, like I said, you could skip that part. And there it is, all done. I love the way it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. So today is all about what would you make. We're making stuff with wood. And like I told you, these are our hosts and our guest hosts. I will have their links down below in the description box, along with a playlist with all kinds of women that are also going to be crafting as well. So go check them out. So this DIY, I'm going to use some of that tissue paper that you see there. It's by Tim Holtz, and it is at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm also going to use this wooden flower, those leaves, another, that's not a dowel, that's a, oh my God, I forget what you call them, some more ribbon, and strips of fabric, some twine, and then I'm going to use burnt umber and white chalk paint. So I'm going to go over the whole, what I did is I took off the top of the sign, and then I sanded the whole thing with my sander outside of my garage. And now I'm going to use the burnt umber and go over the whole thing with that. I'm going to come in again with my wax, and I'm going to rub it all over the board as well. And then I'm going to come in with the white chalk paint again, and I am going to go over it with that. And we're going to make that chippy look again that I love so much. And I'm not worried about covering the white completely because I want some of that to come out too. So then I went in, and this time it scraped really easy. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the board I was using on the other one, but this one, it scraped really nicely. So, and what it does is it just catches some of where the wax hit, and it'll scrape off really nice. And then once I get that all scraped, oh, I guess I show you the whole thing. Then once I get it all scraped, I'm going to go in and paint my leaves with this moss color and the stem of the flower that we're going to be putting on here with that color as well. And then I'm going to take my flower, and I'm going to paint that with that Barely Pink. So I'm kind of like matching all my DIYs today in this video with the same colors. And then this tissue paper, like I said, comes in a roll. It's in the scrapbook section of Hobby Lobby, and I love this paper. It's super cool to use. And I just went around it with some water, and now I'm just going to tear around where the watermark is. I just wanted a little piece of this with this flower that was on it, and I'm going to Mod Podge that onto my board. And this scrapbook paper blended in really nicely with the background. And then I just kind of really gently smooth it out to make sure there's no wrinkles. And look at it, it's blending in already. I didn't have to do anything. You can't even tell that it's, you know, tissue paper. And then I went over the top of it with some more Mod Podge just to seal it. Then once I'm done with that, I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm going to stamp on top of the flower with this, it's like scriptive writing in cursive. And I'm going to press my, it was easier to do it that way. So I just pressed it down on it, and then it gives you this really cool effect on the flower. I love that. And then I used my dark wax and I went around the edges of the leaves, the flowers of the little flower that we're going to make. And I just went around the edges just so it kind of stands out on the board. It makes it look a little rustic. And then I took a wooden button that I had and I stuck that in the center of my flower. And then we're going to put this all together on our board. So I'm going to glue down the stem first. And I don't have it directly in the center. I have it kind of to the side a little bit near where I put this tissue paper. And then I'm going to glue down our flower, and then I'm going to glue down, of course, the leaves. And the flower I got from the Dollar Tree, and the leaves I had in my stash. I couldn't tell you where I got them from, but I've had them for a while. But you could use any kind of leaves. You can make your own leaves too. And then I'm going to take that jute rope and I'm going to loop it through the top, and we're going to make a really cute little hanger, or you can just leave it for decoration and put it, you know, lean it up against something in your kitchen, on your countertop. But I just made a bow with some jute twine and I just kind of looped it on my fingers, and then I just went around the center of it, and then I tied it off in the middle. And then I also used some glue to hold it down. And now I'm going to tie it on to the top of the thick jute rope. And it looks really cute on the top. It makes a really cute little bow on the top of this. And I just came out so adorable. And then I just kept wrapping it around till I knew it was good and tight. And then I just glued it off in the back and then cut the excess off. I think it looks so cute. I love it. And then I just kind of opened up my loops a little bit more. Next, I made another rag bow, so I didn't show it again. And I'm going to glue that to the top of my board. And then I also glue down some of the strips that are hanging down because I don't want them to go in front of my flowers. So I kind of like glued them down a little bit so that they don't move. Because I did want them a little long, but I didn't want them to cover the flower. So I just put a tiny bit of glue and glued them down like so. And I kind of wrinkled them up a little bit too. So it didn't look like they were glued down, you know, kind of natural looking. And then once I get all those glued down, I'm going to glue another wooden button to the center of my bow. Then I'm going to take some of this Sweet Annie that I get on Etsy, and I'm going to glue that around my bow. I love this stuff. I use it a lot in my crafts. And once I get, I did put some on the bottom as well, underneath the bow on the bottom. And that's it, you guys. I think this turned out so cute. I absolutely love this one too. Let me know what you guys think down below. And there it is for you. So now we're going to do DIY number 3. Now this DIY, I'm going to take some chalk paint, paste, chalk paste, and some more ribbon and strips of fabric, a tag again and a button, this stencil that I got from Couture, one of those wooden boards from the Dollar Tree, some paint, and my dark wax again. So now I'm going to come in with that burnt umber again. You guys see the theme here. It's all pretty much the same colors. And I'm going to paint the board with that burnt umber color first. Then I'm going to take my wax again, candle. You get the tea light ones, if I didn't mention that, at the Dollar Tree, and you just use those. And then I went over the top, and now I'm going to come in with the white again over that because I want the chippy look again, you guys. So if you don't like the chippy look, skip that part like I always say. Then I'm going to take my stencil from Decor, but you could get these stencils also on Amazon, but I do have my Decor shop linked down below. And then I'm going to use my chalk paste, and I love this flower stencil. I'm going to do the stems with this moss, no, actually it's pesto color, and I'm using my little squeegee tool, and that's what goes through. It's a silk screen stencil, if you haven't seen these before. And it goes through really nice. I like these stencils because they're so easy to use. And you just use a little squeegee that comes with, they sell, or you get it with the kits. And you just use that and you put your paste down. Then, so that it didn't dry, because I don't want it to lift my paint up because I'm a slow stenciler, I lift it up and then put it back down. And then I went in and did my flowers and my butterfly in this pink color. And this is almost like that barely pink color that we've been using. So this worked out really well that I had this color. And I just did all the little flowers. And then we're going to lift it up, and it makes a really pretty image, really nice on your board. And then I went around the edges with my vintage photo, and I made it look a little bit more old. And then I did the same thing with a stencil brush and just dabbed a little bit, like a light brush, over the top with my dark wax. Next, I'm going to rough up the edges of my tag again. I want it to look old, and I'm going to crinkle it all up, and then I'm going to stamp the word. I think I did bloom on this one too. Or maybe I did spring. I can't remember, you guys. I'm so sorry. I did so many of these. And then I did the dark wax around the edges and over the top of the tag as well. Yes, I did do bloom again. Then I'm going to take my little bow that I made, and I'm going to stick that in the corner of the board. And this one I made a little bit smaller bow to go with what I'm making here. And then I stuck my tag down in the center, and then a button. And my wooden buttons that I've been showing you through this whole video is also in my Amazon shop too, if you're interested in getting some. And then I get some of my Sweet Annie, and I stuck that around my bow as well. And I did the top and the bottom, I believe. And I think that was it. Now you could put a hanger on this, or you can lean it down on your shelf, whatever you want to do. But these boards are so nice to use from the Dollar Tree. And I absolutely love this one too. So let me know what you guys think down below. Also, don't forget to go check everyone out. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to come check me out on my lives every Friday night at 7 p.m. here on YouTube or on my Facebook. And come give me a follow on Facebook. That helps me too. Thanks for watching, everyone. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.